Hi, this is Mel Gibson here to do the, give you the wristwatch show on this. Kick back, open up a soft drink, put your feet up. I'm here with Farhad Savinia, co-writer, co-producer, and all around, I don't know, he was there. He saw it happen. We were there.
Yeah.
This was our baby, man. If two men can have a baby
Oh,
together.
please.
Please don't go there.
No.
Okay.
Not for 2 hours anyway.
No. Okay, we'll try and keep it clean.
Yes.
And you do the same.
I shall.
Good. No, them, I mean them.
Oh, I see. Do you want to talk about how many times it took us to get this shot right? Because this is all one single shot.
Oh, yeah. God. It's one shot. We had to get the tapir to pop out right on cue. And, of course, he's a dumb animal. Or maybe he's a smart animal, but he's an animal. Not inclined to cooperate. But he came right into the lens there. It was amazing.
Yeah. Tapirs are actually notoriously shy. Yeah. They're very afraid of things, and if you frighten them and they start to run, you better get out of the way because they'll take everything with them.
Well, they go right through your trees, animals, you know.
And they're endangered, heavily endangered species, so we have to be very careful with our particular one.
Hey, he got treated better than I did on this shoot. It's like,
he did, yeah.
more ice cream, Mr. Tapir? Why, yes, thank you. People don't know quite what it is. They think it's what are they?
A pig?
A pig, they call it.
Yeah,
but it's actually closer to being a horse.
That's right. And it sort of throws you off if you don't know anything about the film. You don't know what era, what time period you're watching. And
who are these guys?
Yeah, who are these guys?
Why aren't they wearing trousers?
Yeah.
And the tapir would have been the largest game animal in their forest, in their world, so.
At that time, yeah, because in Central America, in the period where the film is set, obviously there were no horses.
No.
Horses arrived with the conquistadors.
Horses came on boats. Oop, boy. Sounds like a pig, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
Of course, this was a puppet.
Yes, it was.
These all our guys.
Yeah.
Hand chosen.
For the bad teeth, I think, right? That's it.
Prerequisite was they had to have like a terrible dentist. And,
these images here, these were the first shoot. This is the first
day.
Yeah. Everybody was a little bit nervous.
Oh, yeah. All the guys.
Yeah.
First time in front of a camera for most of them.
Now, we watched a lot of documentary footage of tribal people living in forests and stuff, just to try and get some of this right, because they really wouldn't have carted off the entire animal in its original state. They would have packaged it up to take it along with them wherever they're going.
And the other thing that was important when we were writing this was to create, I guess, an expected thing of what might one think of as primitives on a hunt, and then to totally sort of go against the mood of what one would expect and turn it into a practical joke.
Right. Particularly in how they speak to each other. We wanted to stay very clear of that thing that you see in films all the time with the whole honor and speech stuff. You know, this was very much colloquial and friendly.
Making the guy eat the tapir's balls.
Yeah.
You know, it's a big joke. I guess it's their version of television. You know? What was that show where they eat horrible things? What is it? Fear Factor?
Fear Factor, yeah.
Yeah.
This is Fear Factor, circa 1502.
Yeah. Mayan Fear Factor.
Yeah.
That always gets me.
Yeah, me too. It's the squirt.
Horrible. Yeah,
oh.
Sorry.
He was so good at it.
Every time he gags, it cracks me.
Yeah.
It's like a bear or something.
One of the other things that's amazing here is how everything's being matched, because we shot this sequence over many, many days. And Dean's going hard at work here trying to make, because the forest, the light's changing all the time.
Oh, yeah.
And you have the sunny, hot spots and the sort of darker spots, and he's making it all match with each other into one sequence. It's really well done.
Yeah. Well, those are guys with those big scrims, Goose and all
That's
those guys.
right, yeah.
They were dragging scrims all over the place to block light movement. So it was very time-consuming.
Yeah,
Because where the light was coming from was always very definite.
that's right.
But if you don't notice it, it's okay.
That's right. Yeah.
Beautiful sometimes.
Amazing.
Look at
These
that.
shots here are,
Look at
yeah,
this.
they're just...
Backlit. Beautiful
This
stuff.
is Genesis at its best sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
Because of the way the light looks in the background.
And probably a lot of this was getting pretty dark in there.
Yeah.
But look how it just pops.
Yeah.
Because to show you the sensitivity to light that the stuff has. And it doesn't blow it out. you
That's
know?
right, yeah.
I mean, even behind his head there,
Yeah,
it just, that's good. I mean, that was almost full sun backlight coming in.
Mm-hmm.
Both these guys they're from the same tribe in Canada,
Yes,
from the Cree
the
Nation.
Cree Nation, yeah.
Rudy and Raoul come from further south.
That's
They're
right.
Native Americans. But the rest of the cast were Mesoamericans, or from Mexico or Guatemala or from Central America.
Right. I love what Morris is doing here. Once you've seen the film and you know what he's up to,
Yeah,
Then,
he's just a beast.
yeah, he's really funny. The looks in his eyes are just priceless.
You
Like
see him
this
laughing
one
behind his-
here is just...
Like, I can't believe he's believing this.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. This part, giving him more leaves. You came up with that on the day. It's just hilarious.
Hele bala chache. Hele la chuica. Hana yel gib.
Do you remember how that meat smelled so bad on the set?
It
Yeah.
was starting to get old.
Yeah, it was.
I don't even know what it was. I don't want to know. It was important that this character be singled out at this point as some a little more aware or more sensitive to things than the others.
Yeah.
And that's why he survives, in a sense, is that he's just a little ahead of the game. For some reason, he has a sixth sense about things.
That's right.
That's what sets him apart.
And also apart from us, the viewing audience, because we can't see what he sees either.
No.
And, so it's definitely that he's got something else going on.
So as he sees it, none of us can.
Yeah.
And it doesn't seem like the other guys can either, but we don't really go into that.
Right, right.
And that was intentional. He's talking to something that we can't see. So he sees it before we do.
Basha got. Basha got.
I'm so glad this worked for real.
Yeah.
Because I remember you talking about doing it with some computer
Morphing
help.
or-
Yeah. But it worked. We put the guys out there and
No.
they just moved a little to the left and a little to the right, and suddenly they just
right.
disappeared.
You couldn't see him.
Yeah, it was
You
amazing.
couldn't see him until they moved.
Yeah.
It's pretty scary, actually.
Yeah.
Hiram. Cast for his startled appearance. He's got this look of being afraid all the time.
That's true.
He did it really well. He's got really big eyes. And he looks like he's missed a few meals. Fear being contagious.
Yeah.
It's like it makes him reach for the darts because the guy's acting weird because he's afraid, you know.
You told him to behave like he's the Walking Dead. Do you remember that?
And I told him he's dead. He just doesn't know it yet. Or he knows it, but he doesn't.
Yeah.
Be a victim.
Hicha in Shiba, Dia Kuzon de Wete de Gaza. The Tia Yanuzone Kieta Lushiba can pata menanewhere.
It's looking like, what are you doing looking at my refrigerator? It's like, yeah, nice water. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. 2 weeks you're staying? 2?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And he goes, go on then.
Yeah, get out of here.
Yeah.
Start catching a man's fish, he gets sensitive about it.
Yeah. I think one thing that we forget here is how amazing the makeup job is.
Oh, look
Because,
at
yeah,
it. Every aspect of these guys.
They just look so real, and you don't even notice it because you buy in immediately on. And these people here, these are all background extras, ostensibly, and they're all done up. So
All from the town of Catemaco.
that's right, the local town where we were shooting this in this forest nearby.
That guy there, he looks kind of like he's just kind of staring in the bushes. I'll show you. He comes back again later. He knew something like 7 languages.
Yeah,
Remember that cat?
I do remember.
And
Yes,
he'd been to college, and
yeah,
it was like
the young guy with
sort
the
of brilliant guy, and he looks like, he looks like the village idiot.
This was the day that snake had wrapped
guy.
itself. Yeah, that guy. The snake had wrapped itself around that young boy's foot. Remember that?
Oh,
'Cause
that's
it was-
right. I swear it's the only cold day of the year that ever happened there.
It was freezing.
It was so cold. And I guess the snake, for warmth's sake, wrapped itself around a 4-year-old's leg and had to be pried loose. But it was a fertile ant.
That's the deadliest snake in the forest over there.
Incidentally, the little kid that the snake wrapped around his leg, he lived. No, the snake never even bit him. The wrangler was there. They were able to use their expertise to extract the snake, who was really just trying to stay warm, off this little 4-year-old's leg. I don't know how he let it get there. He's probably talking to it for 5 minutes, but it was all a happy ending. All these guys, I found all these actors and performers. They worked as artisans or painters, or some of them were dancers. Some of them worked in the circus.
And a lot of the people who were going through that forest shot there, and now in the village, you'll see, had never actually seen a film before.
Yeah.
Which was amazing to us because they were suddenly so able to perform and act and dramatize things.
All the people in that village. And that was a function of really just talking to them and making them feel relaxed, I think, and just say, just go about your business, have something to do.
This tree that they're leaning up against that's come crashing down, this tree nearly took half
Everybody.
of our crew with it because it was standing when we first built the set, and there was a huge storm.
And it keeled over.
It keeled over, and Tom Sanders made it part of the set, made a great entrance to the village for us with it.
Sack.
The concept of fear is the biggest enemy.
Saki. Le Diob Saya Diob Lela. Tawila. The Saki lo. Belko Hanel. Lelela Kuyoku Tikusta. Lelelo Zokan. Gaskunta. Uetel Nakila Gusta.
I love the way he says this. I actually love the way the words sound in this speech.
Yeah.
Hosta Puxika. Matasiki Chikatalo. It's Sastaki. Yank Muchtale Bat the Bob. Tukilit. Kashilak Chibalo. Tello. Dona Yan Bishano. Utia. Ukton.
Just a couple of bombs. I always made me laugh after he gives this fear about speech. He tries to frighten all the kids.
Yeah. The great Isabel.
Yes. Isabel. Where did she come from?
Oh, I don't know. Where did we...
You know, you heard all sorts of stories that she was on the street or...
I think she's the grand dame of the theater down there in Mexico.
She is? I don't know.
But she had this going on.
She had this kind of
I mean, look,
madness. that was what it was. That moment there.
You saw that in the room and you said, "That's it. I don't
She's
want to see
nuts.
anyone else."
She's the harridan mother-in-law. Yeah, a cliche if you like.
Yeah.
She does it well.
Fahashi.
It's amazing how many characters you get to know in this film, literally in the first half hour.
Oh yeah.
So many of them.
Well, it has to be very clear. That's why I think the casting according to type or archetype even was very. I pointedly did so, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the sage father, the cute son,
That's right.
the furry monkey, the you know, the archetypal sort of hero.
Yeah.
You know? The guy who's got kind of childlike sort of heroism in his eyes. He's sort of innocent in a way, but so it's important to establish those types, particularly when you're dealing with a culture so far away and in another language. They had to be clear.
Yes. And it's a quick thing to say here about the set dressing. I think one of the things that sold this whole thing was, you know, every corner you look, you see little details.
something,
Yeah. They did such an amazing job, Tom's team.
The forest was beautiful to begin with, but they just adorned it with this little abode, this village. And there are villages built more primitively than this still today.
Existing, yeah, in the Yucatan, in Chiapas, in certain parts of Mexico that we in fact found some of our cast from that.
Yeah.
Do you remember he couldn't stand being upside down for longer than about a few seconds because it would frighten him. So we had to be very careful with him on that.
Look at that makeup job. I mean,
Yeah.
the prosthetic pregnant belly. I mean, it's seamless.
Yeah.
Payoff time.
Now, nobody knew about the joke that you're playing here with her, with his wife. And when the crew saw this,
They laughed their heads off.
because they didn't know. Mel kept it a secret from almost everybody.
I just went and filmed her. I said, okay, start drinking the water.
Yeah. And they couldn't believe that. There we go. Do you remember how dark it was when we were shooting?
Yeah.
It was night almost.
A testament to Genesis, you know?
Yeah.
I was saying, Dean, it's dark out here. Surely we can't shoot. He said, shall we, right, mate?
Yeah.
Give it a whirl.
Yeah.
And he was, you know.
Jonathan, just so...
Laugh, cry,
Yeah.
laugh.
Yeah. These shots are from Costa Rica, these big sort of forest scapes that we see. They were just a beautiful country there.
It is stunning. If you want those big vistas, you know, the mountains and another crew off from Costa Rica just shooting beautiful things.
Yeah.
Sunsets, sunrises, rain.
The speech that the old storyteller is telling me, we found this. This was an old Mayan tale called The Myth of the Man's Sadness. And we took what was there and changed it a little bit to bring it up to
We modified it.
Yeah.
And he's a real storyteller, a Mayan, who was really missing an arm there. Some kind of industrial accident when he was a young man.
And these are the scenes, aren't they? These are the ones where there is literally no other source of light except for the fire, right?
Fire.
Yeah.
Look at
Amazing.
that. Look at that. Wow. Amazing. Dean was so excited when we saw this, how it looked, and how the flames looked fluid almost, because he could open the shutter, so the blur effect on the movement of the flames. He had a kind of a black nose ring, but it made him look like he had like a Charlie Chaplin look. So I had to change it to white. It was like, I said,
Like a moustache, yeah. I really love this sequence where the camera's literally moving all the time, you know?
Yeah. Did it ever stop?
No, it didn't. Not once.
Not even in quiet
Slightest
scenes.
movements in it, yeah, all the time.
If it did, it would seem weird. I think we did a few times. Just be stock still, just for the effect of being still. But even then, there was usually someone moving in that shot.
I remember that night, you got everybody to get up and dance in this scene, and the entire village was dancing and dancing on the first take. And when they stopped, the crew standing around watching just erupted into applause because they were so taken in by the energy of the whole thing. It was just such a magical moment for everybody. We just all clapped.
Everybody wanted to dance.
Yeah, they did. We all wanted to get. Well, you got in the middle of the whole thing, but
I was running around like a lunatic.
Anything with it.
And we basically started off with a very choreographed structure with people with functions and prosthetic makeup.
Yep. Amazing.
Huh.
He was sound asleep, the kid.
Yeah.
Dead to the world at that point.
It's amazing the leeway you get with Genesis and with digital timing, too.
That's right.
You can make it virtually any time of the day or night, almost. It's not just a matter of a couple of stops in this direction or that direction anymore, but now it's virtually anything you want. Dreams are important, don't you think?
Very. They tell you something, like,
Yes, like, hey.
run.
Guy's got a lot of heart.
That's a great makeup job, too.
It is, yeah.
It's just amazing. That
There. I mean, that thing actually looked like a dog. Didn't it? Great makeup job. I love this little kid's hand that slaps over.
yeah. You had to increase the sound on that because you really wanted it hard, you know?
Yes, he slaps her in the eye.
Yeah.
Le pego.
Just when you thought you were in Happy Valley, comes a man with human jaws on his arm.
Mm-hmm.
You think he'll be nice? He's not the Fuller Brushman.
No, he's not the bearer of glad tidings. It was so amazing to see these guys the first day they came on set, which was quite a way into the shoot.
Frightening.
Yeah.
I mean, they're the scariest looking dudes I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Remember when we showed the film to the distributors at Disney, they were like, these are the scariest guys ever. And it helps that you never saw any of them before.
That's true. You have no idea what that
Raoul there, you've seen him before. He was in films and TV.
I think he was in the New World before this one.
He was, yeah. But we actually gave him a prosthetic nose.
That's right.
Because he was very aquiline featured, and we thought, to make him more Mayan looking, as like a la the murals.
That's right.
We thought it was good to give him more of a proboscis. This kid was in good shape, I have to admit.
He was.
He's a real athlete. And that's what really... It was down to a couple of people, but this guy moved like an animal when he moved.
Mm-hmm.
He had to do a lot of moving in this. All the stunt guys are all Mexican stunt guys.
They are.
What did Frank do? He's not a lawyer or something?
No, I don't.
We call this guy Frank Sinatra. Because, like, if you look at him, he looks like young Frank Sinatra.
He does.
He's got...
There
see,
he is.
Look, when somebody ties you. And it's like...
The visual effects here, the special effects, the ones that were done on set, the fire and everything was done by the local Mexican crews as well. And they really
Chucho Duran.
Yeah, Chucho Duran.
He's a legend down there. On-site special effects, man.
It was raining so hard
that day. Yeah. Oh, man. You'd have to find stuff to do indoors, Yeah. It's supposed to be outdoors, but since it was raining.
What's the nature son of guys?
It's good.
Yeah. And here's Blunted.
Yep. Maybe you can't father children, but you can kick some ass.
Yeah. This was a wonderful combination. You can talk to this, I guess, more than I can about how combining the exterior set and the interior set.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you can't even tell.
You can't.
Now,
because that whole layer was indoors.
Yep. And yet everything from the outside was shot, obviously, in the village set.
Yeah. So you had to do both up and down, both in the synthetic set and the real one. And they matched perfectly.
Perfectly, yeah. The music is really good in this sequence, I think. It just keeps you...
Starts taking on.
Blood pumping, yeah.
Ugh. This is hard.
Yeah.
There used to be more of that scene, but I didn't. I got out of it.
Yes. This is one of the sequences I am so glad it worked the way you remember during writing it.
Yeah.
It just...
Yeah. Oop.
And you shot so many different angles to make this work.
Yeah.
So many.
Bang. Feet up in the...
Feet on the wall, inside, outside, close shots on this
closer.
guy. Him coming in POV, then that... I mean, it's just... The combination is huge. And she hits the ground. And these were ridiculous, remember?
Yeah. You don't know whether they're going to work.
You didn't know, and then they worked so great.
It's amazing, a lot of these actors, and, they did a lot of their own kind of physical work, This guy here, Javier, hanging upside down. I mean, that's tough to hang upside down all day.
It is.
Do all this stuff. I mean, you drag him up now and then so his head wouldn't explode, but... And then to take all of, the fake hits with the rubber club and,
lobo. Ja ne wantko. Ja ne sutta wetelis. Hastin maitech. Hastin maitech.
Desperation. Well, this girl gave it everything, man.
She did. Out of nowhere.
Yeah, she didn't have any dialogue or anything. She was just, but she really gave it everything. Screaming and. That was Mrs. Sinatra.
Yes. Yeah. See the nets here and the clubs that can be used on both sides. These were designed specifically to capture these guys, and Simon Atherton put a lot of work into figuring out what kinds of weaponry would be used to subdue people and capture them, as opposed to necessarily kill them. Although if they got in your way, you...
Yeah. One of my favorites is coming up. It's kind of like a hook thing that you can just choke somebody out with and not necessarily kill them.
Yeah.
And the other thing, like that hook that goes through the wall of the hut and drags the guy right through the wall.
Yeah, yeah.
That was Simon, came up, pull him right through the wall. It's
That's
like,
right.
oh, that's great,
This is all Rudy and...
Oh, yeah, no, these guys
They did their own.
did their own stuff, man. They're tough boys.
Yeah. Rolling around and...
Headbutts, they look real, man.
I love these drum beats. They're so good.
Yeah, that thing screamed out for percussion, didn't it?
It did, yeah.
Yeah, that's the choke-out weapon.
That's right.
It's like two things combined. Oh. Had many uses.
This cracked us up. Raoul's look here.
Well, the tantrum.
Yeah, and then...
And then it's like, that's my boy. It's like, what? I mean, that tells you a lot, actually.
It does. It's true character stuff, this establishing who these guys are in relation to each other and
who they are.
And they are in themselves, yeah.
That he's like a spoiled child who has to obey, but he doesn't like it.
Yeah. And he will break the rules.
Oh, yeah, he's seriously troubled.
Gerardo Taracena is genuinely one of the best actors they have south of the border.
Oh, this guy? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he plays a lunatic. Great. Look at this.
Amazing. But the face and the way he uses it,
I don't know why he sort of reminds me of Robert Duvall or something. I know he doesn't really look like him, but he just reminds me.
It's that kind of off thing, playing it off a little bit.
Almost anemic.
Yeah, and his tone is so so just not disregard for the moment itself.
I love this look on Morris.
Yes.
Next look. That one.
Yeah.
Wow, it's amazing.
Yeah, yeah. It is.
It's like 4 things happening right there.
Yeah.
Wow. Masaka.
Stay well away from it.
Yeah. I love that. Going way wide for that. And he's just standing there.
Yeah.
Like everything. It's cool.
It's the only way to do it, really.
It's cool.
The only good way to do it. And this is the voice of Rahat Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan, yeah.
It's his nephew.
It's, Rahat.
Oh,
Yeah.
Rahat, yeah.
Yeah. And he is a great Pakistani vocalist.
Yeah. And it's not just, it's years, this stuff.
Hours of practice every day to keep that voice tuned.
Before he could even record.
Mm-hmm.
He'd sit there for like 10 minutes and warm up. Or longer, half an hour sometimes.
Lili la acaba. Hola.
Kushulets okay. Kushulets okay. Kushulets okay. Kushulets okay. Sulak. Sulak.
Jonathan was great here.
Yeah.
His heart's so out there with what he does. He's just so raw.
With everything
Yeah.
he does, yeah.
Yeah. It's really vulnerable. The big vulnerable guy. He's really like that.
In fact, this scene works because of him.
Oh, yeah.
Not because of what's happening here.
Yeah, which is
because
horrible.
of what's going on with him.
But his compassion and his but Rudy too.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, the sadness of
Oh, yeah. Boy, it was rough even shooting this stuff.
Yeah, I know. It was hard to do.
Yeah.
Poor little fella.
Yeah.
I think he was
wanted-
hungry.
He was on, ice
10:30.
cream. He wanted ice cream.
He got up early.
That's Myra Cerbolo.
Myra Cerbolo.
Yeah.
Beautiful actress, really. She's really great.
Yeah.
And she's from Oaxaca.
Oaxaca, that's right.
She's from the Zapotec extraction.
This shot, I just want to point it out because of how the next one about how you can tell a story with
Yeah.
one shot. You start behind the beam
Yeah.
and you follow this guy through to the other side here. It's just, here we go.
Yeah, good.
It's,
Thank goodness for Techno Crane.
yeah, exactly. It's just, it really tells you a lot in one shot. Rodolfo Palacios, who plays Snake Ink here, had to spend something like 6 hours a day
Oh, yeah.
in makeup just to apply all those tattoos and scars on his body.
Scarifications to
Yeah.
make you look like he's snake skin.
Yeah.
Timing. Kid's great here.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I just look at Rodolfo here.
Yeah.
He was in pretty fit. He was a pretty fit guy.
That's true, yeah.
But a lot of the cast, you know, they
A little soft.
had a little 20th century blubber on them,
That's true, yes.
and we put them on special diets of more hard foods like meat and vegetables and just more natural stuff, and they all leaned out and got muscular
Yeah.
and more angular.
And they all look really good in the
Oh,
end.
yeah.
And they were all very happy with the bodies.
Oh
they
yeah,
had.
no, they were like, hey, look at me there,
Yeah.
because Raul, the main Whole Cane here, the guy
Yes.
with the headgear, the scary looking guy.
Yeah. Here he is.
He's in good shape, and he's not a youngster.
No, he's not.
I think he dropped about 30 pounds and really got tight. You know? It's good.
And we made him run around a lot,
Oh
didn't
yeah, oh yeah, running.
we? His joints, he was always complaining about his
Oh,
knees.
yeah.
He
Well.
said, please. But he did a great job running around like that. Trying to keep up with Rudy was no
Oh no,
easy task.
kidding me? You can't. I got one of these guys just one day when we were just talking to him. I said, okay, I'll take you out in the parking lot and have a foot race with you. Kid's like 20 years old. And, I mean, I used to be pretty fast. I thought, yeah, I'll probably beat the kid. He smoked me. He was so fast. I gave him the part just because he could run like a deer. It's some of these shots I love. It's just the movement coming
It's
over
huge, and the fire's all the way in the background. Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot going on. A lot of elements.
I think one of the things people don't realize when they watch films is the amount of work required to run a set, and
Boy,
and
Adrian.
the AD crew. Yeah, the AD crew is like really the unsung heroes of any film of this scale and size.
You don't see them. I mean, they're constantly at it. I think I said it when the screening happened. I spotted Adrian's bald head in the dark. And I said, Adrian Grunberg, ladies and gentlemen, the hardest working man in Mexico.
Absolutely.
It's got to be true.
Yeah.
I've never seen anybody put so much into it. That guy was flat out.
Because every single thing we're looking at here in terms of where people are, what the fires are doing, he's got to run all that and make it happen at the right time, and it's a tough job.
It's like, more people.
Yeah.
Okay. Going with more people.
Yeah.
I love this shot.
Yeah. She's alone.
The horror sinking in. Great the way you just catch her eyes at the bottom there.
Mm-hmm.
Ma.
Which is the word for ma. Na means ma.
Yeah, that's remarkable
And ma
similarity.
means no.
That's right, exactly.
So to say no, mother, you say na ma
Nama.
or ma na.
There he is. That's the kid who smoked you right in the parking lot.
Yeah, this is the guy.
Yeah.
He killed me in a foot race.
Yeah.
Incredible athlete, this kid. 19, I think he was, worked with a dance troupe or something.
Yeah.
I said, come join us. And he had a very good natural ability with
the camera.
intention with the camera.
Yeah.
It's really nice. Oop, there he is. Terrified as always.
Yeah.
Like Lee Marvin there.
These shots are amazing. That's the jungle in Catamarca.
Yeah. And Techno Crane, being able to just come down on it. And you couldn't even use the whole shot.
No, you
because it
couldn't.
just takes too long, but it's a shame.
But you chose this piece of jungle precisely because it is so thick and lush, yet you can see so far into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you couldn't in a lot of other countries, like in Costa Rica, you can't see as deep as this.
As deep, yeah, and you needed to have depth of field and
Yes.
and to be able to see things. But that said, I have to say that the greens department were amazing.
Unbelievable. They are hardworking. I mean,
Man, they never stopped. And this kid here, wow, amazing.
this girl, yeah.
Lorena, I was impressed with this kid. She's like 11 years old, and she lived in Catamarca, the farmer's daughter, whatever.
Yeah.
And had was just perfectly honest in front of the camera.
And so beautiful.
Oh, yeah, no. She's one of the faces that reminded me of those frozen kids they found up in the mountains in the Andes. Where did they find them? Somewhere in Asia. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Like near Tibet or something.
Yeah. This scene always makes me think of how truly subtle and great Gerardo is as Middle Eye.
Yeah. Even sort of like gags. Oh,
Yeah.
look at the poor guy's hurt. Quick. Has a drink himself. I mean.
And Rudy's doing a great job too.
Yeah, they all are. This guy,
Yeah.
out of drama school.
Israel.
Yeah, Israel. He's from drama school. There's two Israels on the post. The one down and the one in front of Rudy.
Yeah.
In fact, you'd call one of them, they'd both turn up.
They both turn and look at you. That's true.
So we had to find other names for him.
Yeah.
Coco.
Cocoa Leaf.
Coco and Smokey.
That's right.
Chicken.
Garnish! Sech! Maka hach amakalok. Et.
Love it.
Yeah.
Techno crane again. Look at
Yeah.
this shot. Great.
And again, the music.
The river wasn't as rough as it looks.
That's right.
We roughed it up, you know. I actually put some boulders in there to make it spill and crash a bit. And we dug a trench so that it would appear deeper.
That's right. And there's a safety line in there too.
Everyone's got a safety line on.
Yeah, just to make sure.
But it looks pretty rugged. So great, this actress.
I just love her. You want to make every film you ever make
I know,
with her.
with her.
You know?
Yeah, it's funny. So dignified, too.
Yeah, she really is. Yeah. And look at that shot with her.
Yeah.
Cliff in the background, yeah.
Costa Rica once
Again, yes.
I believe that's the Faker hole. This is something, it wasn't in the script.
No, yeah, you came up with this just, I think, like the day before we were going to shoot it.
Yeah.
You said, you know, I think they do this thing with
Ants.
ants, yeah, to suture
Stitches,
wounds.
suture
Yeah.
wounds. Soldier ants.
And it's true, we looked it up. Historically, they used to do it far back in, as far as ancient Egypt. They actually used to use various form of army ants because the ant would clamp down shut around the wound and you just cut its head off and there you'd have a suture right there.
And the Mesoamerican
did it as
natives
well.
still do it today.
That's right.
Some
And
of
they
them do
still
it today.
in the Amazon too. And he's wonderful.
Yeah, the kid.
Carlos, yeah.
4 years old. man.
Carlito, yeah, he...
Look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I said, don't cry now, but you don't like it. Try and be brave.
Yeah.
Oof. Boy, this is hot.
This was hot.
135 degrees. or
Yes.
something.
That stone wall behind them
It was like an oven
turning,
cooking.
Yeah, cooking them.
All these guys, even these guys with their wonderful sort of brown complexions, even they got sunburned
They
on that
did,
day.
and you can see it actually on a couple of them. I think we should make a quick mention here of Ted too, Ted Ray's job, because this scene is one of the ones in which obviously a lot of these guys are wearing wires so that they wouldn't fall over. And a lot of the special effects done in this film were to remove wires and things like that. And you just, it's so seamless if you look at it now, that, he and his team did a really wonderful job with that.
Yeah, all the falls, all the dangling over high spot.
That's
all
right.
very safe. Looks precarious, that's good.
Yeah. In case you didn't know Middle Light was crazy, here he is again.
Yeah, he's a sociopath.
Yeah.
It's Frank Sinatra.
It always makes me laugh. I remember you were telling Gerardo to look at this whole thing as though a beautiful daisy was flowering in the spring. That was your direction to him.
Yeah.
I love it. And you go weak. Hat.
You mean it just handiwork after you push the guy off?
Yeah, it's just like,
Yeah, look at that flower.
Oh.
That's just nice. Ugh. Yeah, Deeply troubled. Well,
Yeah.
that wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be.
Exactly.
You know, that's it. Oh, well, next episode. Oh, Dad's here. Pauses were important in this scene.
Mm-hmm.
Kimwali. Letiol tilak bisak tulak lob. Tunetin cha aubi.
Just great. Most of it is not speaking, you
I know, I
know.
was just looking at him. He's like boring holes.
Yeah.
Love it.
Jack ili klelo.
The knife. That's the first time we see that knife.
It's not really.
Isn't it? We saw it in the village attack, yeah?
Yeah. I think he sliced and diced somebody.
That's
with it.
right. That's true. He does, yes.
So you know he's handy.
Knows how to use it, yeah. I love the way you didn't put a subtitle on there. It's not necessary. Everybody knows what he's saying when he goes, no.
Akachaubin. Bash kapat kesh.
Konash! Hakuta namo!
He threw that one in extra.
Yeah, he did.
Wa aling bulak. Bangka. Kasat kich beorak.
Miriam's lullaby.
This is an old, actually it's an old Zapotecan lullaby that we translated into Yucatec, Mayan. And it's a very, very old lullaby. Something about how the kids will play when the parents are away or something.
Yeah.